So today we're doing the Cubs, obviously my favorite team. If you didn't know that by now, you're living under a rock or something. Yes, we're doing the Cubs. They won the poll in the Braves video. And speaking of polls, up here, top corner, there's the next couple teams that you can vote for. Who do you want to see? Go and vote for them in this corner up here. Up here. Yeah, yep. Do it now. So I'm going to offer you guys a challenge. I know that we're about halfway through the teams by now. I'm pretty sure about halfway, maybe a little bit more. I want to knock them out. And I'm going to offer you guys a challenge of 1,000 likes on today's video. I will do the next team tomorrow. And if tomorrow you hit 1,000 likes on that video, I'll do the team that won the poll in that video the next day. Basically, I want to do daily team rebuilds. I want to knock them out because I know sometimes they do get a little bit boring, a little bit repetitive, and there's a lot of like challenge rebuilds or different types of rebuilds that I have in my mind and also written down on a list in my idea notebook that I have that I want to bring to you guys, but I kind of want to knock these teams out first before we get to those challenge rebuilds. So if you guys want to start to see those, let's get done with these MLB team rebuilds. Let's hit 1,000 likes on these videos, and that'll be the challenge for you guys. So 1,000 likes on today's video, I'll do the next team tomorrow. So there it is, 1,000 likes. Hit that like button down below. If you enjoyed today's video and you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. And then in the comment section, I want you to tell me what you would do with the Chicago Cubs if you were going to do a rebuild with them. There's definitely a couple ideas I have. You're about to see them, but I want to know your take on the Cubs. If you missed the last video, I'm going to put a link to it in the top corner. Go and give it a watch. It was a really good challenge rebuild. Some of those challenge ideas that I've been speaking of, that was one of them. Go and give it a watch up here. And if you haven't followed any of my social media, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, those are all in the description as well, along with my Twitch link. Go and give it a follow. We've been doing franchise over there, Diamond Dynasty. It's just a good time to hang out. You can talk and chat, you know, just stuff like that. Go follow the Twitch link. And that's about it, guys. Let's get into this video. I'm looking forward to it. So here we go. We're gonna do 4 years, the usual, the normal stuff's gonna happen, you know, just it's a rebuild, it's a team build. So here we go. Let's talk about this roster. There's a lot of things that we need to figure out. So we need to get a little bit younger with the pitching staff, you know, Hendricks, Darvish, Lester, Quintana, Chatwood. Not a guy under 30, so we definitely need to find a pitcher that's going to help us out. Hendricks and Darvish are long-term contracts. I think Hendricks is 3, Darvish is 4, and then Lester, Quintana, and Chatwood all end at the end of the season. I might just leave it there and then just wait till the offseason to really make some changes to the starting rotation. We also do have Jarrell Cotton, Braylon Marquez, Adbert Alzolay, who are a little bit younger, who could potentially feature, but we'll have to wait and see. In the bullpen, I feel like we're decent. You know, Winkler, Wick, Alec Mills, Jeremy Jeffers, Kyle Ryan. There's some good names there, so I think we're fine for now. And then we got Kimbrel and Morrow, who both can do the job just fine. I feel like Kimbrel was just a little rusty last year after not pitching for half a season. He just didn't have a good rhythm. And then Morrow, when healthy, is lights out. He's just got to stay healthy. When you look at the catchers, you got Wilson Contreras, one of the best in baseball. Caratini's a very, very solid backup. First base, you got Mr. Consistent in Anthony Rizzo, just a super reliable first baseman. Second base is a big question mark for the Cubs. Definitely need to figure out who we're going to put there. Maybe Nico Horner. And then when you look at third base, one of the best in baseball, Chris Bryant. I'm not saying he's like in the top 3, but he's definitely a very solid third baseman. One of the best at shortstop, Javi Baez. I'm thinking about bringing up Nico Horner to be just to be the second baseman. So we'll have to wait and see what we do there. Kyle Schwarber is a very good hitter. Don't get me wrong. He's been really good with the Cubs. I like him. I just feel like if we're gonna keep the core of Baez, Bryant, Rizzo, and Contreras together, Kyle Schwarber's kind of the odd man out, so he might be a player I look to trade. In center field, Ian Happ, Albert Almora Jr. What are we going to do with those two guys? And then in right field, Jason Hayward's just definitely getting overpaid, so we're going to have to figure that out as well. Let's take a look at the budget because this is where it gets a little messy. You can see we're really tight, and then we have Lester, Hayward, Darvish, Bryant's about to become a free agent. We have Kimbrel, Hendricks, and just so much money being spread out. And it's going to be tough to figure out who we're going to keep, who we're going to pay. This is something we really need to figure out. So let's make a couple trades. I have one in mind, but then outside of that, I don't really know what else to do. Vance Vizcaino and Kyle Schwarber is going to get us David Dahl. We're going to add another lefty bat, a younger player by a year. And the big thing here is David Dahl's contract is a little bit less, right? You're looking at 3 years arbitration. He doesn't become a free agent until 2024. So I have a feeling it's going to be a lot better of a situation than Kyle Schwarber, who becomes a free agent in 2 years and we'd have to pay him. So this at least gives us a little bit of flexibility with some money and contract situation. And it's a lefty bat. He's going to develop. And I like this pickup of David Dahl here. So there we go. that's the move. So after that move, there's not really much else to do with the team for now. A lot of players become free agents at the end of the season, so we're going to open up a lot of cash that way. But this is the starting rotation. This is the bullpen. And it might become an issue with the budget for draft day, but I think for now we should be fine. Hernan Perez was brought up from AAA. David Masters, I don't know why he's in the majors. He's not going to stay there. But this is the team we're going to rock with. David Dahl, not really a leadoff guy. I know that. We'll look for someone. If Nico Horner develops really well, he probably would be my leadoff guy. And then we'd have maybe David Dahl in the 6th spot. It's tough. You know, I don't really know what to do with the team right now. Not David Dahl. Jason Hayward's contract's kind of a big thing, and he doesn't really have a lot of trade value, so I'm going to have to work around that. But for this season, I want to see how things go. I want to see how everything plays out. And then we do have Nico Horner that could develop. Robel Garcia could be a decent little backup bat for us as well. So let's get rid of some of these big contracts that we have, let them walk in free agency, and then definitely we can start to build around that. So let's see how it goes. I know we're still going to be one of the better teams in baseball. We're 9th in baseball currently. Do we make the postseason? We should, but who knows? I'll see you guys at draft day. Hopefully we're off to a good start by then. All right, the draft is over, and I think I got some sneaky good picks. I really do. We were like right in the middle of the rounds. I think we had like the 15th or 16th pick, and the draft was weird. There were a lot of like pitchers, but there weren't a lot of good pitchers. So I didn't really go for pitching. I mean, I say that as half my picks were pitchers, but like I kind of waited because this is what I saw. David De La Cruz, 74 overall, 87 potential. Look at those hitting stats. The fielding looks good as well. The arm strength, arm accuracy, I don't care. He's a first baseman, and he is a absolute beast at first base. Holy cow. Look at those stats. I hope he has like some other secondaries because obviously we have Anthony Rizzo. But holy cow, what a hitter. Look at this third baseman we got in the 2nd round. Henry Branch, 89 potential, 70 overall. Again, fielding wise, atrocious. Good speed, good hitting stats. Talk about some good pickups. And then the rest of the guys, Pablo Castilla's got 76 potential, 73 overall. His hitting stats are really good. What is this? Like, holy cow. What are these picks? And then a couple like okay pitching prospects. Nothing too crazy, but whew, those first 3 picks, love it. Look at those picks. It sucks that we have Rizzo and Brian at 3rd, so we're kind of like set at the corners, but we got to find a way to get these guys involved. They are too good. The rest of the picks, not great. You know, the outfielders were really good fielding outfielders, not good hitters. The pitchers didn't look fantastic, but let me tell you, these 1st and 3rd basemen, top notch. Alrighty, September time. We're almost through the season, and season's going pretty well. I don't know if we made the postseason though. It's always kind of tight. We actually won the division. Really, 93 and a nice amount of losses, and we're taking on the Nationals. Really? Huh. Was it like that close throughout the league? Let's take a look. Like the Dodgers obviously ran away with it, but I guess, yeah. I mean, you look at the rest of the teams and their wins and losses. It looks like it was just a really tight race for wild card and division because we won the division by 5 games. Yeah, it just looks like it was just like just a really tight season. So let's take a look at awards first, which I normally don't do. Glaber was MVP along with Scherzer, and then Cy Young obviously went to Scherzer and Garrett Cole. Rendon and Arenado had a batting title. Will Harris, Chapman, and Tsutsugo and Akiyama. I mean, they're the rookie of the years every single time. We'll take a look at some of these. I didn't even realize Rendon hit 350 almost. Holy cow. So looking at some of the league leaders just so I can see if there's maybe a player that piques my interest that I want to go after, because there are some positions that I definitely want to change. I'm just not too sure. If I want to make the pull the trigger to make the moves just yet. Rizzo, Hap with 40 home runs. Ooh, okay. We might have to keep him in the lineup. If he's going to be hitting 40 home runs, he definitely might have, he definitely has to stay in the lineup. Let's take a look at some of the pitching just to see if some of the guys actually did well. Hendricks, expected. And then Lester with 5. Okay. You know, okay, I'll take that. And then saves 38 for Kimbrel. I'll take that for sure. So for the most part, pretty happy with what I was seeing. The budget's going to be a big question mark for me though. Like, where do we spend our money? Alec Mills is a setup guy. Love it. Love it. Rowan Wick, not as good as I would have hoped. Maybe he can bounce back. The ERA is a little high. The whip is a little high. So definitely hope he can get a bounce back season. Jeremy Jeffers, that's a good season. Will I bring him back? Probably not, but we'll have to wait and see. Kyle Ryan struggled a bit, so we might need to look for a new lefty. We got Brandon Morrow, who really fell off, even though he had a good season, so we probably won't bring him back. And then Dan Winkler struggled too. That's tough. And then Craig Kimbrell, the ERA and the whip are high. So the 3 guys that I had the most confidence in, not the best. That's kind of tough to see. Looking at our starting rotation, Kyle Hendricks, why is the potential going down? He had a really good season. Like, really good season. I'm looking at it like, what? Yu Darvish struggled. Definitely struggled. John Lester had a solid season. That's a good year. 200 innings as well. I'd love to see that. Quintana struggled. Probably not going to bring him back. And then Chatwood struggled. So it looks like we were really carried by our offense because bullpen and starting rotation, not the best. Like, that's... Ooh. We'll take a look at our bench first. Looking at those stats, I'm pretty happy with it. Like, everybody did pretty well. Even David Masters, who's a 66. Never would have thought that. So when we take a look at our actual lineup, like I mentioned, David Dahl, not necessarily a leadoff guy, but why is the potential going down? He had an unbelievable year. 36 home runs, 33 doubles. Like, how is that a potential lowering season? Javi Baez in the 2 spot, not a bad year. 35 home runs, 107 RBIs, 37 doubles. Like, that's a good season. Chris Bryant had a great year, almost a 300 average year with 30 home runs, 34 doubles. Good season. Anthony Rizzo, 41 home runs, 107 RBIs. That is fantastic to see. When we take a look at Wilson Contreras, he had a good year as well. It's looking like we really got carried by our offense. 66 RBIs, a little low, but he still did quite well. David Bodie had a good year in his appearances. You know, Jason Hayward, probably a player I'm going to look to move on from. You know, we have Ian Happ, who's putting up 40 home runs, almost 100 RBIs. Like, that's a good year. He definitely needs to play more. Albert Almora, not a terrible season. Really comparable to what Jason Hayward did. Almost at, like, very comparable with a better average OPS and slugging percentage on base percentage from what I'm seeing. Yeah, like, pretty comparable to what Jason Hayward's doing and a lot cheaper. So maybe Ian Happ in center, Almora in right, and then second base, Nico Horner. That might be the move. That's going to save us a lot of money. That might be our solution to saving us a crazy amount of money. Maybe trade Jason Hayward for like a bullpen arm or something. That might be the move going forward because we don't have a lot of good prospects to look forward to in the future. So maybe just using some of those young guys that we do have and just save some of the money, we should be fine. So let's see. We're taking on the Nationals here. Okay, so Hendricks, Scherzer, we get that win. That's a big win for us. Day 1. Next, a 5-4 win once again. 3rd game, we lose. 4th game, we lose. And it's going to come down to this. I'm not going to quick manage it because it is season 1. But I am going to sim it. I'm just going to move Kyle Hendricks up in the lineup. And we win 8-7. So, oh no, I didn't mean to sim it. No. Okay, we're back. We're back. We're going to keep it like this. I think Chatwood pitched anyways. So this is going to be Darvish, day 1. Well, day 2 technically against the Dodgers. We're going to get a loss there. John Lester, and then Jose Quintana. If we lose this, we lose it. We actually win. We win. Oh, we're in a little bit of maybe a comeback mode. Let's just move everybody down. Maybe even move Hendricks up a day. So let's see what we can do here. We're somehow still in the mix. We do lose there, which is unfortunate. But that's fine. That's perfectly fine. It was a little sloppy there. But I'm okay. Let's head into the offseason. The Athletics, they defeated the Dodgers. Really? Okay. We're letting a lot of players go. Anthony Rizzo is a player that I definitely want to bring back, though. He's just one of those players that super consistent. Let's keep him in the team. I know we did have that first and third baseman, those 2 first basemen and that third baseman that we drafted. But Anthony Rizzo is just too good. Let's keep him around. And then realistically, I'm going to let everybody else go. Hernan Perez wasn't terrible. I might bring Steven Souza Jr. back because he doesn't want that much and he's a good platoon option in the outfield. Like, that was a super cheap contract. Let's see if we can get a new manager in the mix, and then let's get into free agency. For arbitration, I offered it to everybody here, not Tepera, Fegley, or Ryan. I'm gonna let those guys walk, but the rest of the guys did get arbitration. When I take a look at contracts as well, Rowan Wick, he might have a bounce back here. The whip wasn't terrible to begin with, so I might bring him. I'm definitely going to bring him back. Tyler Olson. We do need a lefty. Maybe he's like a cheap option that we could use in the bullpen for a season. Maybe even Brad Wick. We'll see. I'm going to bring back most of the guys, though. Tyler Olson might not be one of the guys that I do bring back. Pitching rotation is an area that we'll probably have to spend a little bit of money. Maybe bring in one bullpen arm. The lineup, though, I don't think we're going to change much. If we do make a trade, it'll be for an outfielder. We have quite a bit of money to work with. I don't want to spend it all, though, because Baez, Bryant, Wilson Contreras, they all become free agents very, very soon. So we got to be smart with our money. So if I'm going to be looking to spend, it's probably cheap options in the... I mean, there's not even that many good pitchers available, which does suck. That's a big hurt. The bullpen, not a lot of options as well. So it's looking like we're going to have to make some trades to really fill out this team. I'll see you guys for the start of season 2. All right, so I'm kind of taking the Cubs approach of not spending a lot of money on pitchers, unless you're Darvish, Lester, Chatwood, or Hendricks. Yeah. So my whole thinking is, let's try to get some people who we can kind of plug in there, hope it works out, and then rely on the offense. So we got Hayward and Christopher Morel being traded for Matthew Boyd. We're about to start season 2. I'm like right before spring training. So this was a trade that I wanted to do to get rid of Hayward. So that's the move I'm going to do. Starting season 2, we've obviously made that trade for Matthew Boyd, and budget's, again, pretty tight. So we'll take a look at some of the additions, changes, and things like that we've made. Roster history, probably the easiest way to do it. Jake Faria is going to help us out in the bullpen. Matthew Boyd through a trade. Freddie Galvis, I just signed in free agency to help kind of fill out the rest of the roster. Also, let's take a look. Ben Gamble was brought in, just a platoon outfield option. And, first year draft round 5. I thought it said Rule 5. I was like, I don't remember picking that guy in the Rule 5 draft. Who else did I bring in? Alex Colomé is a new addition to the team. That was a big one. Kyle Freeland looks terrible, but had a really good year last year. I'm going to stick him in the 5 spot, see how he does. If he does terrible, we'll trade him away. But that's the move there. And then we signed MJ Melendez. He was available in free agency, so I wanted to point that out. So this is what our starting rotation is looking like. It doesn't look fantastic, and it really worries me. The bullpen I have a lot of faith in. You know, I feel like that's a good spot. And then when you look at the lineup looks fantastic. You know, Nico Horner is going to move into that second base spot. I'm going to give him one more year before I make him the leadoff guy. I'm going to keep David Dahl there because he did so well last season. But then Ian Happ, Albert Almora, and right. And realistically, if I'm going to make a change to the team, it's going to be right field. You know, we have this crazy first baseman that needs to get in the team somehow. I just don't know how to get him into the team. You know, you also look at, like, who are those other guys that we drafted? Henry Branch. He plays third base. How do we get him involved? Pablo Castilla. How do we get him involved? It's a little bit of a mess at the corner spots. You know, if I really wanted to, I could be like, oh, maybe he could play second base, you know, but I feel like that's kind of like taking advantage of it. But, you know, who knows? We'll wait and see how things pan out. If he's at a point where we're like, we have to get him in the team, maybe we find a way to get him in the team. But for now, we're going to leave it there. Maybe move him to like left field or something like that. Who knows? We're going to see how this goes. Play out the year. But for now, I like the team. All right, so we're in September doing a little bit better than when we were last year. And I have a feeling we should win the division again. If not, we're making the wild card because we're actually having a pretty good season. 90 wins already. And let's finish off on a good streak. Let's get a nice little winning streak under our belt. And we won the division 98-64. So 5 games better than what we were last year. We're going to be taking on the Braves. So no league leaders, no awards. Really? Let's take a look around the league, see some of the other league or like those divisional winners and things like that. So the Rays, the Dodgers with 100-win seasons. And again, it's looking like it's really close. A lot of teams are kind of in that group of like mid-90s wins, but you guys can see our stats as a team. 264 average, ERA sitting at 358. Okay, not terrible. We'll take a look at kind of the league leaders really quick. Again, just to kind of get an idea, maybe we make some trades. But like I mentioned, budget's going to be tight. I did take advantage of the in-season contract extension to add Baez and Bryant on long-term deals. So we have them locked up. Really, the only person I need to worry about is Wilson Contreras next year. So we'll have to wait and see what we do with that. David Dahl, I think, is good for the rest of the rebuild. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that one. So there we go. That's the team. Craig Kimbrell's up there. You guys were probably looking to see who were some of the league leaders as I was talking. But Freddie Freeman, what a season. Mike Trout as well. You got Shane Bieber and Corey Kluber. Really? Corey Kluber on the Brewers. He had a Cy Young year. Batting title went to Trout and Freeman. Hendricks and Giles as reliever of the year. Bo Naylor and Parker Meadows were rookie of the year. So we didn't have any awards, no league leaders, but let's take a look at our bullpen. Alec Mills, what a season. Even better than last year. How does that happen? He had a great year. You look at Rowan Wick. Okay, the whip went up a little bit. The ERA went down, so it's about the same as what happened last year. Daniel Winkler, not really cutting it. I know as soon as I let him go to another team, he's going to do fantastic, but for us, just not the team. Jake Faria was actually pretty good. Glad we picked him up in the Rule 5 draft. And then Tyler Olson was really good as well. Wasn't expecting that. He had himself a season. Alex Colomé, great pickup for us. He's a really good setup guy. I'm going to keep him around. And then Craig Kimbrell had a good year. I'll keep my eye on to see how much he wants, but I'm not too sure we're going to be able to afford him. And then we take a look at our starting rotation. Really good season by Kyle Hendricks. He's one of those guys. He's not going to strike out a crazy amount of people, but he's going to get the job done. Matthew Boyd that's a Cy Young season right there. You look at that, you go, whew, what a year. Yu Darvish, we might have to get rid of this contract. He's just not doing well. Just not doing well at all. Jarrell Cotton, not that great. And Kyle Freeland. Okay, we might have a little glitchy guy to have in the 4-5 spot, and then get rid of Cotton and Darvish, and we're set. What about our farm system? Alzolai's up to a 75. Maybe he's the 5. Freeland moves into the 4, and we find a new 3. Maybe that's the move. Maybe that's the move going forward. That might be our solution. So here we go. Let's take a look at the lineup. Freddie Galvis, as like kind of a platoon guy, had a pretty decent year. Ben Gamel, okay, we can work with that. Victor Caratini is going to want to be an everyday guy. I don't know if we can get that to like make that happen. He had a fantastic season though. Steven Souza Jr., minimal plate appearances, but did really well. David Masters somehow still doing decent. And then, yeah, it was the rest of our bench options. Looking at David Dahl, he wasn't as good as he was last year, but he still was very, very good in that leadoff spot. I want to move him down a little bit in the lineup, but for now, really happy with his production. Javi Baez, not as good as last year, but 40 doubles is solid, 26 home runs. Chris Bryant put up really similar number. Ooh, home run total. Home run total dipped a little bit. That's worrisome. Anthony Rizzo, fantastic season. Even better than what he did last year, which is crazy to think about. You know, Wilson Contreras had a good year as well. Even better than what he did last year. David Bodie fell off a little bit. Not as many games, not as many plate appearances. So that kind of makes sense. Nico Horner, is he our second base solution? We'll have to keep an eye on that. Ian Happ, not as good as last year, but still a pretty productive year. 25 home runs, 83 RBIs, 33 doubles, more at bats. So, you know what? Still a decent season. And Almora, we might look to get a new outfielder. So, let's see. He's got to get into the team. Like, he's going to be too good of a hitter not to get into the team. But where do we put him in the team? That's the thing. Do we move like David Dahl to right field and then, you know, kind of make him like a left fielder? Like, that could definitely be a potential move. Like, I feel like that's not a bad idea. You know, we have Ademan who could be a backup for us. We have this guy who's tearing up the baseball, you know, Henry Branch. We have options. How are we going to get them involved? I have no idea. So we're going to have to figure that out going forward. The budget's going to be fine. You know, Craig Kimbrell's potentially going to leave. We're going to have to figure some things out 100%. But let's see what we can do against the Braves. Hopefully we can get some, you know, off to a good start. Yikes. Let's quick manage this one. If we win it, we'll quick manage we'll see how this goes. I have a feeling this is going to be a good game. This is going to be a good game. That's basically where I'm going with this. So if we can score early against Soroka, that'd be great. But I have a feeling this is going to be a pitcher's duel for sure. And so far, that's exactly what it is. 1-run scores, and we're down 1-0 to the Braves. Not the best, but okay, there we go. Ian Happ's on. Horner double play. Come on, we can't have that. That's just a bummer. Absolute rally killer right there. Ian Happ gives us the lead, 2-1. Can we get out of this? Come on. We're gonna go to our lefty, Tyler Olson. He gets us out of it. That was big. Almora pops up. We're gonna pinch hit. We're gonna let's go Caratini. He gets out, and then David Dahl gets out. That's okay. We're gonna stick our guy. What is this, the 9th inning? Craig Kimbrell against his former team gets us out of it, and we advance. Who are we taking on now? The Brewers. Okay. That's a good matchup for us. So here we go. Let's just move everybody down a little bit into Hendricks being the 3rd spot. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Let's go against the Brewers. We swept them. Talk about a good series for us, especially against a divisional rival, taking on the Rays now. So everybody should be back to the normal spot. Hendricks in the 1. Matthew Boyd has been fantastic. Darvish is looking good. We'll go like that. Actually, Jarrell Cotton's had himself a postseason so far. We'll give him the 4 spot. Game 1, we take the win. Game 2, take the loss. That's all right. 3, the loss right there kind of hurts. And a loss there. So we're 3-1. We got to play this one. We got to make sure. Actually, it's only season 2. Let's just put Kyle Hendricks there. Matthew Boyd there. And Yu Darvish there. And if we stay alive, we stay alive. If not, we're going to move forward and see how it goes. We do. Okay. And we lost there. But unfortunately, we lost. So any awards? We actually do have one. Playoff MVP for Ian Happ. Had himself a postseason. So far, so good. You know, I feel like the team's looking good. Season 2, we made it to the World Series, and we're not spending a lot of money. That's the thing. We're not spending a lot of money, which is good because we're going to have to end up spending a lot of money. Kyle Freeland was good. $2 million option is nothing. Ben Gamble, what was his? $2 million? What do we do here? I'm going to take that option as well because it was super cheap. And one of these 2 guys is going to stay. The other one's going to go. I'm going to go. Let's keep Ben Gamble. Let's let Steven Souza Jr. go. How much does Kimbrel want? $8 a year? You know what? That's not bad. I'll take that. And then I'm going to let the rest of the guys walk. That wasn't as bad as I would have thought. I'm going to get some new staff. I'll see you guys for free agency. Arbitration-wise, I'm going to offer it to everybody except for Jarrell Cotton. I'm thinking Victor Caratini might be a trade piece for a really good pitcher. So we'll have to wait and see. Contracts-wise, I'm going to offer it to everybody. I really want to get this guy involved. I don't know how. I really don't know how. Those hitting stats are just too good to not have into a lineup. We need to figure it out. I know a lot of you guys don't like it when I change positions, but I'm really thinking about moving Dahl to right field, Almora to center, Happ to second, or Almora might move to the bench and then move that guy to left because Rizzo can't leave the lineup. 41 home runs last season. That's just something we can't take out of the lineup. So looking at our rotation and everything, Matthew Boyd was good. I'm cool with keeping him for 1 more year. Obviously, we offered him arbitration. He was fantastic. What am I saying? I do want to trade Darvish. I'm going to do that now. I guess we could keep Cotton and then trade him once the season starts. And then we do need a bullpen arm. We brought back Kimbrel. He signed that like $8 million, $7 million deal. And then looking at our budget, we're sitting at around $2 million. So we're not going to be able to pick up anybody super like high rated with a big contract. But, you know, someone like a Pedro Baez, who's usually pretty reliable, or someone that, you know, is kind of on the cheaper end, might really help us out that we're probably going to have to end up going for. So the lineup has been fantastic for us. Like, I feel like offensively we're set. I feel like once we strengthen that pitching core, we're going to be really, really good. So we're going to have to make some changes. I think Almora is going to get moved to the bench. I think that's just what's going to end up happening. And then I'm going to move that first baseman to left field. I feel like that's really the only way we're going to get him in the team. Season 3, we're getting rid of Yu Darvish. We're going to the Dodgers, which, you know, whatever. Yu Darvish is going to the Dodgers with Almora Jr. and Cole Roederer for Carlos Carrasco, Freddie Galvis, and Jaron Kendall. I looked at other options that we probably could have gotten, and I'm realizing that they're stacked in the outfield, but they offered me a trade similar to this. I just kind of was looking for other trades that would work for us. We could get, like, I don't even know who else we could try to get from them. David Price. Another trade I did look at was Madison Bumgarner. The thing is, I might take that one straight up, actually. We're going to do this trade. Bumgarner for Darvish, Almora, and Cole Roederer. I feel like Bumgarner is probably a little bit better. He's a little bit younger, so hopefully he won't fall off. So let's take a look at the team. See how we're looking now. So Bumgarner's going to be the 2. Alzolay is going to be the 5. Freeland the 4. And then Boyd the... Oh, we might swap them just so there's not 3 lefties in a row. But you guys can see the rotation. The bullpen, Baez has come in. Otherwise, it's not changed much. I have a feeling Olsen might be a little bit of an issue. But for the most part, I have faith in what we have here. And I'm hoping it works out. Lineup-wise, this is what we have. We obviously need a new right fielder. And that's where the whole, do we bring up that first baseman, move him to left, and then move Dahl to right? Or do we just kind of work with what we have? Because we're kind of limited on what we have, to be honest. There is one player I do want to point out, was Randall King. He was a season 2 draft pick. He was really the only good one out of the whole bunch that I picked up. And that's really what I'm kind of stuck with. Do I bring up this guy, make him a left fielder, move Dahl to right? I feel like that's really the only solution we have, because we do have a couple players hitting free agency. And even though we're sitting around $1 million for budget, I think we're going to be kind of tight. You know, Wilson Contreras is going to want a lot of money. And I don't know if we're going to be able to afford all these players. That's the big thing. So I'm going to do that. That's what I would do. Yeah, it may not be the most realistic, but you also got to realize if players are going to want to play in the majors, they're going to have to adjust and play whatever position that the manager wants them to. So we're going to move that guy to left field. I'm going to move David Dahl to right field. And that's the team. That's the team. So that's really the only change. That's the only move I'm going to do. Alrighty, so this season, not great. We're a wild card team. We're taking on the Nationals 89 and 73, and it makes sense. You know, you take a look at our team. We're ranked 6th. We're really getting carried by the offense, and we really need to figure out this pitching. I feel like that's what is holding us back. We're 6 games out, or we were 6 games out, and we had the 2nd spot in the wild card. So, you know, we'll take a look at awards, kind of get an idea. Rookie of the Year makes sense. Machado was MVP with Xander Bogaerts. Okay. Those are some names that you don't see often for the MVP awards. Cole and Kershaw were Cy Young. Mookie Betts and Moncada for the batting title. You got Reliever of the Year, Chad Green and Giovanni Gallegos. And then obviously we had the Rookie of the Year in De La Cruz, and Wander Franco was the Rookie of the Year for the AL. So league leaders, I'm not too worried about this year. I want to take a look and see what happened. So yes, Alec Mills' ERA is high, but his whip is actually pretty solid, under 1.2. Pedro Baez, pretty decent year, ERA around 3.7, whip 1.2, so it's not terrible. Jake Faria, again, very solid in the bullpen. Rowan Wick, probably going to be one of those guys that we look to just replace. Just got to get that whip and that ERA down. It's just not good enough. Tyler Olson struggled. Colomé was good, and so was Kimbrel. So definitely going to be in need of 2 bullpen arms this offseason. Looking at Hendricks, he had a 3.3 with a 1.19 whip. Again, very solid starter for us. Madison Bumgarner had a good year. So did Matthew Boyd. So, like, if I can keep those 3 as our 1, 2, 3 in the rotation, I'm happy. You know, Alzolay struggled a bit, and so did Kyle Freeland. So it's looking like we may need a 4 and a 5. I picked up Jose Lopez in free agency. He doesn't look like he's going to be that solution. Braylon Marquez, could he be maybe a 5 in our team? That might be just an option. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, we don't really have anybody that I'm like, ooh, let's throw them in the team. I don't even know if Brad Wick would be good because the home runs and the walks per 9 are low. Maybe just give him a chance just to see if he could replace Tyler Olson, and then just pick up another really strong bullpen arm to carry the bullpen. We'll have to wait and see. Our bench, Ben Gamble, again, very good. You know, as a bench bat, love to see that. You know, Victor Caratini kind of fell off a bit, but still pretty solid as a backup catcher. And then the other guys, you know, we can work with it. Nico Horner got better. Everything went up. Love to see it. We look at Javi Baez. He's still putting up decent numbers. The OPS, though, is a little low. Maybe we need to move him a little bit lower in the lineup. Chris Bryant still putting up very good numbers. 31 home runs, 100 plus RBIs. Anthony Rizzo, I mean, it says he's going down. He may have not have had a good year, as good of a year as he did last year, but he still put up very good numbers. He has to stay our first baseman. That's why I kept him around. Wilson Contreras, his most quiet season, but still really good. Like, that's still good numbers for a catcher. 20 plus home runs, 20 plus doubles. Like, that's a good season. 814 OPS. Yes, please. David Dahl starting to, like, why is he starting to fall off a little bit? That's a little worrisome. I mean, I say that even though he had a really good year, you know, 800 OPS, 270, 340 on base percentage. It's still decent. David Bodie, meh, you know. Ian Happ, yes, perfect. Love to see that. We take a look at David De La Cruz. He had a 280 average, 810 OPS, 17 home runs, 22 doubles. Definitely looking at him as our left fielder going forward. Like, that's the solution. We're gonna have Happ in right, or in center, Dahl in right. And I know that's why it brought him down, probably because he's playing out of position. But I feel like that's the offense going forward. Like, everyone's doing well. We're putting up a crazy amount of runs. I feel like the 4 and the 5 really hurt us. A couple bullpen arms kind of hurt us as well. So I think we're good. It's just we got to strengthen a little bit. And we'll have the money to spend now, especially since some bigger name. Will we have the money to spend? I don't think we will. That is the challenge with this team. One game, wild card. Can we get past it? I mean, we have to, right? We need to. Otherwise, I feel like this is going to start to fall into a failure type rebuild for us. So, bases loaded with 1 out. Couldn't score more than 1 run. That's tough. Nico Horner, though, gives us a 3-run lead. Then Bryant goes back to back, makes it a 4-run lead. So far, so good. Sack fly makes it a 3-run game, but that's okay. At least we have the lead. Michael Conforto goes deep, makes it 4-2. And double play there, that hurts. If Hendricks can at least give us like 6, I'm okay with that. That would be great. 6 maybe. There we go. All right, that's fine. I'm gonna pinch hit for him, even though he's pitching really well. I'd rather just, let's be smart about it. Ben Gamel singles, that's good. Horner strikes out, Dahl pops up, and then Bryant walks, keeps the inning alive. Bases loaded for Baez. Bases clearing double. That was massive. So let's bring in Faria. He's been really consistent for us in the bullpen the last 2 seasons, which I'm really happy about. And he gave us 2 shutout innings. Perfect. Just what I wanted. Just save the bullpen just in case things get a little sketchy towards the end. We're going to use Colome. And all right, we're going to bring in our man Craig Kimbrell to get the last out. He does. Perfect. Taking on the Dodgers. Just what we need. We needed to advance. So Hendricks there. We'll go Freeland. Boom. We're going to go like that for the postseason. Let's see what we can do. Dodgers, game 1, we win. Game 2, we lose. Ooh. Game 3, game 4. We gotta go into this one. Here we go. Quick manage. What are we gonna do? We're home. We gotta win this one. Bumgarner takes the mound for us. He's got full energy. Semion's new. Kiner Falefa's new. Jorge Soler. They've got like a completely different team. How are they this good? Is their pitching just lights out? Anthony Rizzo gives us a 2-run lead. Then Contreras goes and gives us a 4-run lead. So far, so good. It looks like their team is, that's not like a scary team at all. Like, I look at that, I go, meh, you know? I don't know. I'm not too like impressed with what they have. Let's see if Bumgarner can get us a RBI. No, he can't, but that's okay. 9-0. I'm going to start simulating half innings because I feel like things are looking pretty good for us, and I feel like we're in a good spot. Bumgarner's pitching really well. We make it 10-1 after the 7th. If Bumgarner can close out this game, that's even better for us. I'm going to see if he can. There we go. Shutout. Complete game shutout. 3-hit ball for Bumgarner. Keeps us alive in the postseason and to advance to the NLCS to take on the Mets. Can we win this game? Who are we going to throw on the mound? It's got to be Hendricks, right? Or Boyd. Let's go Boyd. He's been good throughout the seasons for us. Might as well see if he can continue that streak into the postseason. And I mean, we got 2 hits, but we're not taking advantage of those situations. There's a walk. There's a guy on. Again, nothing comes of it. Anything. Come on, guys. Let's get those bats moving. Strikeout. Don't need that. Another strikeout. Don't need that. We get a walk and then a fly out. Like, come on. Okay, so 7th inning. There's no hits for the Dodgers, but we're not doing great ourselves. 1st and 2nd. We're limited on appearances. Let's pinch hit. Let's go to David Bodie. Gets the run in. Talk about a clutch pinch hit at bat. Let's go Tyler Olson, since they do have a couple lefties coming up. Perfect. That's what we needed. That was a good inning. So we're going to go to column A. He's going to go 1, 2, 3. Heading into the 9th, we still had that 1-run lead. Hap keeps the inning alive. We're going to pinch hit. They got the righty out. Let's go Gamel. Oh, man. The pinch hit at bats have been insane this game. Kimber will come in, close the door for us, please. There we go. Taking on the Mets in the NLCS. That is, talk about clutch, right? That is huge for us. I think we got to go like that, right? I think so. I feel like that's the right way to go about it. Here we go. Mets. We lose the 1st, lose the 2nd, and the 3rd. Are we about to get swept? We are. Let's head to the offseason. Let's build on this team. Let's build on this team. I feel like pitching's the area we need to improve, so let's do it. So the two options I picked up were Brad Wick and who was the other one? I picked up another option, Alex Colomé. He's been really good for us in the bullpen. I'm going to offer these three guys exclusive negotiations. Arbitration-wise, I'm going to offer these top 6 arbitration. I'm going to let Tyler Olson walk. And then in contracts, let's offer it to everybody. I think this guy's going to be called up to be a really good bench bat for us. I mean, his potential, it looks unbelievable. It's even moved up to A. And look at those hitting stats. That guy, we got to get him involved somehow too, but where? I mean, the team's just so stacked. So we're looking set. Everyone else is going to get a contract. And then realistically, I think we just need a lefty. And I'm not seeing any good lefties here. Like Chapman, but like that's going to be a lot of money to spend. Maybe Taylor Rogers is probably the cheapest option that we could go after, or Will Smith. So we might have to make a trade for a lefty. So I was looking for a new like right field option because I want to shed a little bit of contract because I actually want to try to swindle some team to get a really good like bullpen arm. Shane Green is not the solution, but I do want Drew Waters to help us play outfield. I'm going to trade David Dahl, Rowan Wick, and MJ Melendez. Well, you're probably thinking, well, David Dahl's a really good bench or a really good hitter. Why would you take him out of your lineup? Well, I'm going to put Drew Waters in, right? That's going to like help us out with the budget. And then Shane Green, definitely don't want him to stick in the lineup. I'm actually going to try to trade him and see if we can get someone that's like really good. And then maybe even try to trade Kyle Freeland. And then I'm thinking about calling up Braylon Marquez to be my 5. Maybe. But I want to find a really good bullpen arm. Shane Green's good, but he's at 34, 35 years old. I want to find that new bullpen arm. Let me see if I can do that. Shane Green, Noel Cuevas, and Matthew Gorst for Tim Meza. Might as well try to get that extra lefty in the bullpen. Neville Dodd, Kyle Freeland, Pedro Baez for Emilio Pagan. I'm going to give Braylon Marquez the shot at the 5 spot. That probably is going to come back to hurt us, but we're going to go with it. That's the team. I mean, it's crazy. It's probably not the best team that we could put out there, but let's rock with it. Emilio Pagan, was he the closer? No, he was the guy that was a setup guy. Even though Colomé's been unbelievable for us. I'm going to put my faith in Pagan to be the setup guy. We got Meza, Wick as our lefties, Colomé, Faria, Mills, Kimbrel in the bullpen. Everything's looking really solid. You look at the lineup. I like it. We got a couple switch hitters in the mix. Nico Horner as the leadoff guy, probably not the best idea. We brought up Branch as well to be the DH. The team's looking good. Good mix of young, some prospects that we had. This team's actually pretty good. Alrighty, September of season 4. We're almost at 100 wins, which I would assume would give us the division. Like, I don't see why it wouldn't, because like 100 wins, that's like gotta be the division. If we even hit that. Okay, we did. We got a little bit of a win streak there at the end. We won the division 104-58, the best season we've had so far. And let's see what that like kind of gave us. We won the division by 16 games. We're 4th in baseball. Defense is a huge problem for us. You know, you look at what we have in left field and things like that. Right field, you know, you could tell we're not the best. We're not the best fielding team, but again, we were one of the better teams in the league. Chris Bryant looks like he had an MVP season. Like, you look at what he's put up there, that's insane. Braylon Marquez, best winning percentage in baseball. Okay. Wilson Contreras is up there for batting average as well. Hits, you got Chris Bryant. Okay. At bats, not worried about. Doubles, Chris Bryant, that was it. Triples, Chris Bryant again, he's in the mix in there. Home runs, Chris Bryant led the league. Baez was behind him, so that's good to see. But so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing with Chris Bryant. There's also a couple other names that are getting in the mix. Wins, Kyle Hendricks, Braylon Marquez is up there. 18 wins, 5 losses. That might be Rookie of the Year material. Kimbrel's up there with saves. Okay, so we're looking pretty good. Awards, Silver Slugger, MVP, and Rookie of the Year. So that's good to see. And the Hank Aaron. Was he Triple Crown? Was he a Triple Crown? I think it normally says if he is Triple Crown. But wow, what a season. We'll take a look at that again. Glaber was MVP. Cy Young went to Luis Castillo and Chris Sale. Batting title for Chris Bryant. Whitgren and Dylan Floro were your relievers of the year. Rookie of the Year, Braylon Marquez and Tristan Casas, who normally is a Red Sox prospect, I'm pretty sure. Alec Mills, again, you know, the ERA, the whip's a little high. Jake Faria had his worst season since he joined the team, and it still was a decent year. Alex Colomé, unbelievable. Unbelievable stats from him. He's just so good to have in your bullpen. Tim Meza had a fantastic season. Glad we picked him up to help out in like with the lefty aspect of our bullpen. We look at Brad Wick. Yikes, not the best. You know, Emilio Pagan, fantastic pickup. We definitely needed a setup guy. Actually, we didn't really need one since we had Colome, but it helps out. And then Craig Kimbrell, still not bad. Still not bad. Definitely would look to like let him go since we have Pagan and could bring back Colome for another year if we really wanted to. So that might be the move, you know, for the rest of the rebuild, or if we were to continue the rebuild. Madison, solid season. Madison Bumgarner, really good year. You look at Hendricks, those two guys, 1-2, they may not pitch the hardest, but they got that finesse about them. Really solid. You know, even Matthew Boyd, his worst season, and I mean, we could still work with it. $6.5 million is not a lot for a pitcher. Alzolay still kind of struggling, but he did improve from what he did last year. And then the rookie of the year, Braylon Marquez, 18-5 on the year, 4 ERA, 1.3 RIP. He's only going to get better, so I love to see it. So we'd be set with Alzolay. I mean, I think the pitching staff's set. You know, I feel like we have a couple other guys to look forward to with like Randall King, but for the most part, you know, I feel like the rotation's good to go for the future. Lineups. Let's see how our bench did. David Bodie was a good bench bat for us. That's probably like our go-to. And then we take a look at what Nico Horner did. He's just not a leadoff guy. And I know that, I mean, but like who else would you put there? You know, maybe Chris Bryant, like the Cubs say they might do this year, but I feel like that's not what we would do. Chris Bryant put up MVP numbers, 1123 OPS, almost a 350 average, 44 home runs, almost 50 doubles. That is insane. Javi Baez had one of his best, actually probably his career year right there. That is a great year. Glad to have him in the team. Anthony Rizzo, his most quiet season, and it still was a really good season. Like that's just crazy to think about. Wilson Contreras put up a career year for a lot of stats too, so that's good to see. Drew Waters put up a really good year. Yeah, last year was quiet, only 8 games, but look at that season. Great. I'm glad to have him in the team now going forward with this rebuild. Ian Happ still putting up very, very, very good numbers. Henry Branch in his rookie year it was a quiet year, but still very limited appearances, so you can't really base him off that. And then David De La Cruz still put up really good numbers. 34 doubles, 15 home runs, almost an 800 OPS. I would definitely move him to first once Anthony Rizzo leaves the team, and then maybe Henry Branch moves to left. I feel like that could be an okay move for him. You know, you still have players like Brendan Davis coming up who he's got a potential. It's going down, but I mean, Pablo Castilla's there. I mean, we've got some players to look forward to as well. So the team's looking very, very good. Final year to win a World Series, and we sweep the Braves, which is good. We're going to be taking on the Dodgers now. Let's get Mad Bum there, Hendricks there, Boyd there. And Marquez is probably going to be our 4th starter for this just because rookie of the year, had a good season. Might as well kind of go off that, kind of build off that. And we're facing elimination. We need to win 2 games to get to the World Series. We need to get there, at least get to the World Series. If we lose, okay, that's fine, but let's at least get there, right? So far, it's okay. It's okay. All right, we're playing Julio Urias, or facing Julio Urias. Baez gives us the lead. And then Drew Waters extends it to 2 runs, so that's good to see. I'm looking at their team. Again, I see that team and I go, that's not that great. Baez gives us another 2 runs, which is good to see. So we're up 4-0, and Hendricks is pitching well. So far, so good. I like what I'm seeing. Can Waters extend the lead even further? He can't. David De La Cruz does. Makes it 7-0. So far, so good. I'm liking what I'm seeing. And you know, Hendricks, okay, Drew Waters gets another RBI on the day. Can Hendricks probably isn't going to finish the day, even though he did go 8 and I just let him hit again. Actually, he does. All right, 3-hit shutout, complete game shutout. Gotta love it. And then game 7 to go to the World Series. We need to have a really good game like we did last time. We're going to throw Bumgarner on the mound. I feel like that's just a good matchup for us. And let's see what we can do. Getting on the board early would be huge like we did last time. And there it is. Wilson Contreras goes deep. And Nico Horner goes deep. Okay. Not the guy I would expect to go, you know, deep for the team, but he does. And I'll take it. So still 2-0. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Josiah Gray on the mound for them. Interesting. I didn't even notice that. Let's get out of this. No run scored. There we go. Mad Bum. He's just a competitor. Gotta love it. And what are we in the 7th? Mad Bum's still got a lot of stamina. I'm going to keep him going. They have Vidal Brujan on the bench. Drew Waters goes deep again, back-to-back games for him. And if Mad Bum can go another inning, I'd be happy with that. There we go. Wilson gets on. David De La Cruz gets on. Ian Happ gets out. Waters, bases loaded for Mad Bum. Do we keep him in? Do we keep it going? I feel like we have to. He's been pitching really well. Okay, we're going to take him out. Actually, am I getting greedy? I'm not. Another complete game shutout to end the series. That is how you make a statement, and we're taking on Boston. So Boyd on the mound. Maybe go Hendricks, Bumgarner, Alzolay. Even though everyone besides Boyd's pitching kind of rough. I have faith in him. Take a 2-4 loss. Okay. We lose the second one too. Hendricks gets us a 12-0 win. Mad Bum brings us back. Alzolay, we get the win, and we're one game away from the World Series title. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Braylon, Hendricks, Mad Bum, Alzolay. I have faith in Braylon. I have a feeling he's going to get us the win to win the World Series. And you know what? Let's quick manage it. Why not? Get that Rookie of the Year, maybe that Game 6 World Series win? Or do we just go Hendricks and be safe? Let's be safe. Let's be safe. I don't want to test it. I don't want to go to a Game 7 and then throw it away, right? So we have that 3-2 lead. I mean, looking at their team, Buxton, Verdugo, Winker, Bogarts, Devers, Chavis, Alfaro, Adam Frazier, that's a good team. That's really a good team. I have a feeling we're going to need to score early like we usually do, and it's not happening. Fourth inning, only one hit. Yikes. We got to do something. Come on, guys. A triple. I have a feeling that run's going to score. It does, and it's 1-0. Ian Happ goes deep, makes it a 2-1 game, and everything is looking good so far. I want that insurance run, though. A walk and a fielder's choice. He's done after 8, which is crazy to think about. And come on, just give me... Okay, I was going to say, give us another chance to score some runs. We're going to pinch hit. Bring in Ben Gamel. Strikes out. Nico Horner doesn't do anything there. We're going to call in the closer. Craig Kimbrell shuts the door. There's that World Series we were talking about. So last year we made it to the World Series and lost. This year we made the World Series happen. That victory happened. We won it. Playoff MVP Ian Happ, and World Series MVP was Ian Happ as well. We'll take a look at how everybody performed. And to be honest, from what I saw, 13 innings from Marquez, solid. Hendricks, outstanding. I don't understand how he wasn't playoff MVP. That is unbelievable numbers. You know, Madison Bumgarner put up really good numbers. Alzolay. Matthew Boyd was really the only one that struggled. Alec Mills only pitched an inning. Look at those numbers by the team. Yeah, Pagan allowed a kind of a high ERA. He only pitched 1 2/3 though. So, and then looking at the team, Chris Bryant went a little cold, which is disappointing. So did Rizzo, but everyone contributed. Ian Happ had himself a postseason, and you love to see it. Like, that is a very good team. We'll take a look at a budget just to kind of see what we would do going forward. Anthony Rizzo, I feel like at this point you just put David De La Cruz at first base and let Anthony Rizzo walk. As good of a career as he's had with the Cubs, it's probably time to move on at that point. Kyle Hendricks, maybe give him one more year, which is how dominant he's been. Maybe try to move Craig Kimbrell, move Colomé for one more year. Let him be the closer, Pagan be the setup guy. I still think you'd be good financially. Really would. I think you'd be okay financially. It would be tight, probably sit around the 800, 700K mark, but I still think it'd be a really solid team. So I hope you did enjoy this Cubs rebuild. If you did, hit that thumbs up down below. Remember, 1,000 likes will keep this team rebuild train going. And as like I said, guys, if you did enjoy it, hit that thumbs up down below. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Hit that red subscription button. You might as well join the team here. We're doing rebuilds every single day, and I hope you did enjoy it. Also, comment section, let me know what you think, what you would do with the Cubs if you were to do a rebuild with them. And that's about it, guys. I'm gonna leave 2 videos for you to check out. If you haven't seen either of them, go and give them a watch, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.